exceptional communicator, and he was particularly skilled at taking complex ideas and distilling them down to sort of a simple, clear, compelling, and memorable phrase. And I learned a lot about him from writing, and in particular there were 3 lessons of writing that have stayed with me in the decades since. And these 3 lessons were: 1, he says, end strong. Whether it's the end of a paragraph or the end of an article, you had to bring it all together and leave people with what it was you really were trying to say, the bottom line to take home. 2 was to make it memorable. If you had a point you really wanted people to remember, use an unusual word, a distinct phrase, or an unexpected metaphor, and that would sort of jar people's saliency so they would remember the point you're trying to make. And the last was, keep it short, because people are impatient and they're busy, and every extra word that doesn't need to be there is an opportunity for them to give up, and you've lost them. And those 3 principles of writing have been in the back of my mind with everything I've written in the last 30 years. And I particularly had them in mind in 2007, when John Anderson and Steve Kaufman and I were working on the Festschrift for Gordon's birthday. And I was working on the draft of the preface, and I had to come up with a final paragraph. And I struggled with this paragraph for a long time, because I knew when Gordon first read it, his first instinct would be to say, if he'd only sent it to me in manuscript form, I could have taken out a red pencil and shown Mark how to write it a little bit simpler and a little bit clearer. And when that book came out, I don't know what Gordon's reaction was, but I know that 10 years later, I got a letter. And this is this letter. Do you remember this letter, Sharon? It was 2018. And I got this letter from Sharon 10 years later. And when I opened the letter, I was surprised to see the final paragraph of the preface, those 2 sentences that I had tried to distill Gordon's life down to sort of its essence. And Sharon had taken those 2 sentences and copied them out in her own handwriting in longhand and shared them back with me and told me that she was reading through the Festschrift volume again 10 years later, and when she got to that paragraph, she so enjoyed that description of Gordon that she wanted to write it out herself and share it. And so, in tribute to Sharon as well, I wanted to share that paragraph with you. Gordon never achieved his early dream of pitching a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium. Rather, he spent his entire professional life at Stanford University, where he retired in 2005. However, in his chosen career of psychology, where he went up to bat time after time against a broad and diverse lineup of some of the most challenging problems in learning and memory, Gordon hit a string of home runs worthy of his childhood idol, Lou Gehrig. Thank you.